frightening start to the day for some children after their school bus was involved in an accident.
I think he's despicable and the lowest scum on earth.
A Lexington father is rushing to find Christmas presents for his 3 young children after a burglar stole all their gifts.
Millions of dollars worth of designer items were confiscated from a Moorhead business yesterday. Police say all of it is counterfeit.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5.
We are tracking a breaking news alert out of Lexington this afternoon. Police have issued a warrant in the city's latest murder.
Now, police say 21-year-old Javon McGee shot and killed a man outside an apartment complex on Augusta Court yesterday morning. McGee sometimes uses the alias Tink. Today, the Fayette County coroner identified the victim as 30-year-old Joseph Ramon Parker. Parker's homicide is the 18th of the year in Lexington. 7 remain unsolved. Well, a frightening ride to school today for some southeastern Kentucky students.
Now, the ground gave away, causing the Knox County school bus to slip onto its side on a narrow roadway. It happened on a road off of Kentucky 223 near the DeWitt community. WKYT's Phil Pendleton talks to those who rushed to the scene to help. It's our top story at 5.
Well, a very scary ride to school about 7:20 this morning for 9 children on a Knox County school bus. We're told the elementary age children were on their way to DeWitt Elementary when somehow the ground gave way and the bus overturned. Allison Swafford says that she was one of 2 middle schoolers on a bus filled with young kids. She says her best friend actually fell on top of her. She and the bus driver helped the kids get off the bus, and all of them then walked to a house at the end of the road and waited for help to arrive. It took crews hours to right the bus, but it was driven away. Broken windows were visible on the side.
My sister, she was on the side that was up in the air. When she fell, she came back down on the window and busted the window.
The accident is being investigated by the Knox County Sheriff's Department as well as the local school system. In Knox County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Parents tell us their children usually ride a much smaller bus, but officials say they do occasionally use a larger bus on that route.
We're tracking the search for a Christmas Grinch. A man says a burglar broke into his home on West 7th Street last night. The only things taken, the gifts the man bought his children for Christmas. WKYT's Mark Barber talked with the victim, who says he still wants to make Christmas special for his kids.
With just 6 days until Christmas, police say the burglar broke into the man's home and stole all the Christmas presents for his 3 young children.
Right now, I have absolutely no clue what I'm going to do.
Jermonta Sturgis says he now has less than a week to find his 2-year-old, 3-year-old, and 6-year-old new gifts.
I had an Xbox 360 ready for him. I had 5 brand new outfits apiece for him. I had 3 brand new pairs of shoes for him and some miscellaneous toys.
He believes the burglar broke into his home while he was at work. Sturgis says he made the discouraging discovery when he got back to his West 7th Street home around 11 o'clock last night.
First thing I noticed when I got to my house was my light was on, so I knew something was wrong. And I walk in my house, I noticed my house was ransacked and all of my kids' Christmas gifts are gone.
Investigators tell us they don't know who committed the Christmas crime. Sturgis says he spent hundreds of dollars to make this Christmas special for his 2 sons and daughter. But he says when the burglar broke in, he stole much more than their presents.
He stole all the joy.
Sturgis says even though this wasn't what he had in mind, he won't let the crook steal Christmas completely. He says even though he may not be able to get his children much, and even though the presents might be late, he will still get them something. In Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Now, police tell us they're trying to track down witnesses.
It was a store known for selling brand name goods, but today its shelves are empty because investigators say the items were all counterfeit. The investigation involves name brand closeouts in Moorhead. As WKYT's Victor Puente shows us, it took investigators 10 months to get to this point, and they say they're not done with the case yet.
The schedule here at Name Brand Closeouts says they should be open today, but after most of their inventory was seized, they may never be back in business. The thousands of items listed on the Facebook page for Name Brand Closeouts all bear familiar logos. Names such as Michael Kors, Coach, and North Face adorn the items, But the Rowan County Sheriff's Office says those items are fakes. It's an investigation that began last year. Deputies say a tip led them to check out the business owned by Jamie and George Skaggs. They say the companies that were being counterfeited sent private investigators to verify that the clothes, purses, and footwear were fake. A customer who didn't want to go on camera showed us the Coach purse she bought at the store. Police say millions of dollars of merchandise was seized yesterday, and they expect federal charges for buying and selling counterfeit goods.
And we just don't get a lot of complaints, of counterfeit clothing, being sold here in town. And when we got the complaint initially, and then we followed up with it, and it developed into something very large.
The detective working this case tells me they believe not only were they selling items here at retail, they believe other vendors were coming here to buy those items to sell in their stores. In Rowan County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
We're told the Skaggs own an auction house in Salt Lick. Police say that business is also under investigation. It's the final weekend before Christmas, so it's a really busy time.
And very important for the weather, too. If you have plans to be out and about, you should have cold but dry weather as you're out there. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell is here with a check of your weekend forecast. Jim?
Yeah, for the most part, it should be nice and fine for you all weekend long. We might track a few flakes, especially in southern Kentucky for Saturday. But other than that, should be smooth sailing for you. We look outside right now in Lexington. You can see the sun setting there off in the distance. Temperature is at 29 degrees, what it feels like coming in at 23. So if you walk outside, that wind is only coming in at around 6 miles per hour, but you'll certainly notice it because it makes it feel a whole lot worse. Defender has been quiet through the day. The satellite imagery, not as quiet. We've had plenty of clouds around. We're just getting a little bit of a break, and you can kind of see that happening right here on the satellite image, where you see the bright whites. That's some thicker cloud cover, more moisture rich, and then you find the thinning of the clouds that are also showing up here in Lexington. We look ahead with our 3-day threat track. Few flakes tomorrow, so we'll keep it on the low side, and better chances likely happening down south. On Sunday, it's fine. It's just a little on the chilly side, but it could be the last dry one we see for a while, because beginning Monday and running all week, we're going to be tracking rain or even snow potential, and that could come timely because it could come right around Christmas. We'll take a closer look at that for you coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, Jim, thank you. If you've been sick lately, you're certainly not alone. The Centers for Disease Control is reporting widespread flu activity in 29 states, including Kentucky. That's twice as many as last week. Most of the affected states are in the South and Midwest. The CDC says a majority of cases are the H3N2 strain, which isn't included in this year's vaccine.
Because the H3N2 is dominating, we probably will see more disease.
But health officials still recommend you get a flu vaccine. It will protect you against other strains and minimize your symptoms if you do get the H3N2 strain. Well, immigration, Cuba, and Sony. These were just a few of the topics President Obama addressed in the end of the year news conference this afternoon.
He answered questions before leaving for vacation with the first family in Hawaii. Craig Boswell has more now from the White House.
Topping the end-of-the-year Q&A, North Korea's cyber attack on Sony Pictures Entertainment. President Obama says he wished Sony would have called him before pulling the film, the interview.
We cannot have a society in which some dictator someplace can start imposing censorship here in the United States.
He promised a proportional response, but he didn't announce specifics. Reporters grilled the president on his announcement earlier this week to reestablish diplomatic relations with Cuba.
That if you've done the same thing for 50 years and nothing's changed, you should try something different if you want a different outcome. And this gives us an opportunity for a different outcome.
The president also defended his action on immigration, which will block the deportation of millions of illegal workers. 2015 brings the president a new Congress with Republicans in control of both houses, and the GOP is already promising to block funding for some top White House priorities.
And I'm being absolutely sincere when I say I want to work with this new Congress to get things done.
The president referred to his final 2 years in office as the fourth quarter and said lots of interesting things happen in the fourth quarter. Craig Boswell, CBS News, the White House.
And in what may be a presidential first, President Obama only fielded questions from female reporters. The president and his family will be in Hawaii through New Year's. Congress returns on January 6th. UK has received $500,000 to help graduate students in mathematics. The money from the National Science Foundation will fund the new Graduate Scholars in Mathematics program. The first 2 years of doctoral study in the field are critical. And the goal of the program is to help students, especially first-generation and Appalachian students, make it through it.
In the critical first 2 years where they are really launching their graduate education, they are going to be drawn earlier into research. They'll have more time to give to that endeavor. They will have mentoring opportunities.
The program is accepting applications until January 15th. It will begin in the fall, and the money will be given out through July of 2019.